So how are we supposed to know that we're not wrong about all of it?
How do we know we're not wrong about all of this?
Like our faith is not like incorrect, or like I know he said like earlier today that historians throughout history have not like faltered. Like they always said that Jesus like existed. Like they never say he did not exist. But how do we know that we're not wrong in what we believe?
That's a good question.
Well, I'll start us off on that. I think we can't be certain that we're not wrong. And I know I mentioned this yesterday, the idea that certainty is not required for faith and it's not required for knowledge. But it's also, it's really interesting, this idea of faith, that all of us have to take a step of faith. We all have to have faith that what we believe is true. And this is not only true of Christians, it's true of everyone, right? Atheists have to have faith that what they believe is true, that there is no God, there is no moral lawgiver, there is no accountability for their lives. Agnostics, even people who say that they're not sure what God is or what he's like, even they have to have faith that it's okay for them to be unsure, that it's okay for them to be in this state of uncertainty. And so all of us have to, at the end of the day, say, you know what, this is what I'm going to believe, this is what I'm going to place my faith and my trust in. And that's what we call faith. It's choosing to believe in something, choosing to trust in something, even though you don't have absolute, unshakable proof. That being said, I think we can know with confidence that Christianity is true. I think we can know because of some of the evidence that Mike has presented here today. There are really good reasons, really good evidence that points towards Christianity. I think we can know Jesus personally and have a personal relationship with him and know with confidence that our faith is true. But again, I don't think we can ever say, I have absolute unshakable proof that just completely proves it to anyone in all places and all times that my faith is true. And I don't think we need that. Yeah.
Can I? Just one thing to add. So Mike was using words up here like these are objective reasons to believe that Christianity is true. And I wouldn't base my entire argument on my subjective experience, but in his talk, his subjective experience aligned with the objective reasons. So those words are important. And I think we live in a day and time where what we don't want to come across as is arrogant. In a culture that is trying very hard not to be arrogant. It's hard for us to go, hey, I really think I'm right about this, which means I think those who disagree with me are wrong. That sounds arrogant to our ears, but with what Matthew just said and what Mike just presented this morning, you guys understand that to say, no, I think this is objectively real, that means it doesn't rest on me. I stand here with excellent reasons for thinking this is true that are entirely apart from me, but my experience can confirm it. And that actually puts me on humble ground. Because it means that I'm telling you I think this is true and I think I'm right about this, but I could be wrong about it. Let's talk about the reasons. And the evidence keeps stacking up. You guys, that's a position of humility. If we were to draw from the culture around us, which largely does think that, oh, that's your truth. That's a subjective thing. That's up to you to decide for yourself, your truth and my truth, and we can all just live our own truths. What they would actually really be saying is, I really think I'm right about what I think, and I cannot be wrong about it. Because subjective experience is something that they're all equally valid. There's no right or wrong there, not really. So the position to say, I think Christianity is true because it's really true, it's objectively real, is a humble one and a good one, and you have excellent reasons to stand where you stand on that humble ground. And it just keeps proving itself. One last thing I'll say is some of the greatest thinkers out there who are Christians, the people that we look up to, I think if you gathered them all together in a room and said, you know what, I can provide evidence that we have found the body of Jesus. Do you think those men and women would say, I abandoned my faith? Follow me on this. I think they would say, yes, because the evidence would have been there that it's not true. And the good news is that none of them have abandoned their faith. They're still asking the questions and seeking good answers, and Christianity keeps objectively proving itself over and over and over again. So we stand on the shoulders of great thinkers who also are convinced that this is true, if that helps you.
Really, really well said, Megan. I'll just say one last thing on that, just that it's impossible for you not to think that you're right. Because if you think that you're wrong, then you change your mind and you believe something else. So if somebody says, you just think you're right, you think everybody else is wrong, and say, you do too. You think that you're right and everyone else is wrong. It's impossible. It's logically impossible for you not to think that you're right.